Hi, I'm Nicholas Rogers.
I'm Brandon.
And this is Theater Review.
Christmas special!
Oh, yeah!
Woo!
Theater Review is a real cool show. Theater Review is a real cool show.
I'm actually gonna pose as Saint Nick this week.
Yeah, Saint Nicholas.
Punny.
Yeah.
Okay. So this week we're gonna go see The Night Before with Seth Rogen, Anthony Mackie, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, directed by...
Who was it again?
was-
Cheating with the phone.
Sorry. It was the same director
Yeah.
that did Warm Bodies and 50-50.
Really?
And those are pretty much the only movies he's done.
That were
That
notable?
were notable
Okay.
and somewhat decent, apparently.
50-50 I really liked. And
heard 50-50
it
is
makes
good.
sense that Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Seth Rogen are cast if that's
Right,
the case.
that's
because
what
they
makes
were,
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you expecting for this movie?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like the typical Seth Rogen movie.
Yeah, like it said that it's like in the trailer it said it's brought to you by the people who almost brought you the interview. So like
Right.
sort of the same
Yeah.
people. And I like the interview,
Right.
which was James Franco Seth Rogen
Wasn't bad.
movie. You know, I thought it was funny. It was what it was.
Right.
So if it's anything like that, I think it'll be good. I have never seen them make a Christmas movie before, so I have no idea what to
Right.
expect, because a lot of the times the holiday season you get these movies that just because they're like, Christmas or holiday themed or whatever, they just get put out because, people are gonna go see them. It's holiday season, get in the spirit, woohoo, we got Christmas hats,
Right.
so are we, so let's...
I mean, the
yeah.
studios just plan these movies around the
Exactly.
holiday.
Yeah, they're just pre-prepared.
Exactly.
They probably shot in the summer. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I mean, they go out of their way to shoot it during the summer
and pre-plan it.
Pre-plan it for
So
Christmas.
knowing that, like, it makes
Knowing that they can bank on it during the Christmas months.
yeah, and knowing that, it makes me think that the quality will kind of be
I mean, it's
noticeably
very rare
dipped.
that Christmas movies
Are
come across
good.
as authentic,
Yeah.
even for me.
What
Except for Die Hard and Home Alone.
Yeah,
There's a couple of exceptions.
it's just it's a holiday theme in the background, but the
Right.
movie itself, like,
right.
when
It's not focused on
on
Christmas.
yeah.
So I'm hoping this one isn't.
Or at least
Or
is
the
just funny
holidays.
in its own, funny in its own merit.
Right. I kind of have this rule where I
Mhm.
don't see comedies in the theaters.
Oh,
At
so
all.
we're breaking a big.
So
we're
I'm kind of breaking
for
a
you.
rule for me today.
Okay.
Yeah, and especially for a Seth Rogen movie.
Yeah, that's another one you
Yeah.
don't see in the theater. I mean, we'll see, right?
I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's just because I don't usually enjoy comedies that much.
Oh, throwing
So,
shade at comedies.
I may be a little bit
Dang.
biased after, but hopefully I get a few laughs.
Well,
Should be fun.
all right.
All right, so we'll see you after the movie.
We're gonna go see a Christmas movie.
Woo!
Welcome back to Theater
Welcome back.
Review. Yay!
So we just watched The Night Before.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah, wow.
So that was how about you take the reins on this one on this Christmas night
So we're gonna break it down this week. We're actually gonna split it up
into some categories.
into some categories. So starting off, number one is the story of
Yeah.
the movie.
So the story. This guy, he's down on his luck when he's younger in high school. He gets, his parents get killed in the car accident. So his two best friends vow to start a Christmas tradition with him, and now they are all
and they've
grown-
been doing this for about 14 years.
yeah, for 14 years.
And so the other guys, not Joseph Gordon-Levitt, are sick and tired
Seth
of
Rogen
doing
and-
this. Yeah, so
and-
Seth Rogen and Anthony Mackie.
Yep.
They're completely tired of this. Anthony Mackie is this famed celebrity, sports jock, and Seth Rogen is just moving on to family life.
Yeah.
And so they get tired of it, and basically this is their last throwdown before they basically stick the needle in the coffin.
Yeah, and they, stop
the nail
doing
in the
this
coffin,
tradition
sorry.
anymore. And it's sort of just their,
It's their,
it's-
farewell
yeah.
to the friendship that,
it's their
that
story.
they've
Yeah.
brought up together.
Now, as for our review of the story,
Right.
the way that I look at this movie is as a Christmas spoof movie. Because
Okay.
if you look at it like, it's like, this is the defining Christmas movie. This is it. Like, it's not good. Like,
Right.
But if you look at it as a spoof to all the Christmas movies, you know, like, they make fun of, like, Home Alone, and they
Right.
make, like, and
The two movies that I mentioned before we even were shooting now. Like,
yeah.
Before we went in.
Yeah.
I mentioned Home Alone and Die Hard. And they
And-
were both pretty... They were
were-
name dropped a couple
Yeah.
of times.
And they, if you look at it just like a spoof movie, it's not that bad. But I will say this,
Right.
the writing was pretty funny, but
It was pretty funny.
it had its pretty good moments. I think the title of the movie should just be changed to "Watch Seth Rogen Trip for an Hour and a Half," because
But in all honesty, that was the best part.
it was.
The best part was Seth Rogen tripping out on
Yeah,
drugs.
basically at the beginning of the story.
Basically every Seth Rogen movie.
Oh yeah,
essentially.
I
But
think-
he wasn't even a huge part in the movie.
Yeah, this was I mean, it's a Seth Rogen Christmas movie. Is
This
what
movie
this
is a very mixed bag for me. I mean, it's trying to be all of these things wrapped up into one. It's trying to be
Mhm.
the stoner comedy meets like this intense
Chris-
romantic
yeah.
drama,
and then this serious
and
stuff.
then the serious like uprising of this athletic guy,
and then have an overall
how he's-
theme.
Yeah,
Have
and
a
how he's
theme
trying to
overall,
forget
kinda.
his old friends, and like, oh, he's getting pressured into being with his new friends that are actually total jerks. I mean, you haven't seen that 1,000 times before.
Yeah, it's
And
it's a story that's kind of told like the
It's-
overlying theme of it is a story that's told 100 times, but I think this is just kind of a new take or a modern take on a Christmas story, because like you see all these every year there's Christmas movies every year, and this year there's like something about the Coopers, I can't remember,
something like that.
yeah, and there's all these directors who think, okay, well, I have a Christmas story that has never been told before, so I'm gonna tell it. And that's what this kind of just feels like. It just feels like a modern party story
Right.
about Christmas. And whether that's a story that actually needs telling is up to you to decide.
I personally don't think it does.
No.
I don't think it needs to be told. I
It-
mean, this was a pretty much rehash of
Mm-hmm.
every
It's
stoner
a,
comedy
yeah.
that I've seen.
It's a stoner comedy,
but it's
themed
not
for
even
Christmas.
it's not even a complete stoner comedy. It's a mixed bag of everything.
Yeah. It was funny though.
It was funny.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it as much as I honestly thought it would have been worse than.
Yeah, I will say that. I was expecting much worse. But the other thing was, I was expecting 50-50. Like, the movie we talked about.
Oh, so you were expecting more drama?
A little bit. Like, I mean, going in. We talked about the director.
Right.
And that he was, the guy who directed 50-50. And it's got Joseph Gordon-Levitt, it's got Seth Rogen in it again.
Right.
I would have expected, if that's the way they're going to take, it would be a little more drama. But,
Right.
I guess you get what you get.
But I mean, you did get a heavy hand dose of the drama.
But the drama wasn't really, like...
I actually didn't mind the drama.
No, I was just, like, you liked the drama? Or
I didn't mind
like,
it.
did you like the
but-
writing for it?
But at the end of the day, I still think that this could have... They may have been generic movies, but I still think that this movie could have been separated into almost 3 different types of movies.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't exactly mind the drama aspect of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely generic, but it did feel heartfelt at least towards the end.
That's true. You know what? Right near the end, the drama did get pretty good.
Right.
So the acting. Let's move
The
on to
acting.
that. Acting. What do you think of the acting?
Seth Rogen, I mean, he's just playing himself.
Yeah,
He was hilarious.
I will
though.
say that the acting for Seth Rogen, essentially throughout the whole movie, Seth Rogen's wife gets him this goodie bag of
Right.
different drugs that he just takes throughout the whole movie. And I mean, Seth Rogen, like you said, plays himself, but
Right.
he does it pretty good. Like,
Seth
it's convincing.
Rogen, there's a reason why he keeps doing this.
yeah, it's because it sells.
He's good at it.
He's really
good at it.
He's good at it, and it's funny.
One thing I was not expecting was Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon.
as Mr. Green.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The one aspect of this movie the selling point would be to see Michael Shannon in this movie, in this role.
I mean, they don't know anything about Mr. Green. You kind of got to elaborate a little bit on
So
that.
Mr. Green is, I mean, I'm not doing justice by explaining it, but he is essentially like an angel, a guardian angel stoner.
A guardian angel pot dealer.
And he
he
essentially guides these guys into having their happy ending.
Yeah, it's a Christmas movie, of
It's
course.
a Christmas movie. There's got to be a happy ending.
Yeah.
And there is a happy ending to each one of their
little story arcs.
Yeah, into each one of the guys' story arcs.
But he was a surprise.
He was a surprise. That was probably where I got the most laughs.
Yeah, he was very funny. And
I was not expecting that from Michael Shannon.
Another surprise. You may think James Franco's not in this movie. Oh no, Seth Rogen didn't forget him.
Such a spoiler, though.
We'll talk about it anyway. So, okay.
James Franco.
He's in the movie.
I was not expecting
And it came out of nowhere. Like, I mean, there's this part where he's essentially texting this guy because he has a different...
Named James.
Yeah,
and it's
named
just
James.
James. So he makes a comment where he's like, oh yeah, like, I need to start putting actual contact names in my phone.
Yeah.
And so we don't know this entire time who James is. And all
then
the while,
at the end, or well, close to the end, when they go to this big extravagant party...
they run into James, who just happens to be
Yeah,
James Franco.
James Franco. And, it was a surprise that they have a little bro
And then they have
moment.
their bro stoner moment.
Yeah,
and it's
pretty
great.
funny, yeah.
It's great.
Overall, the acting for all of them, though, I mean, Seth Rogen was good. Like, he played his character really well. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was pretty, like, he plays serious characters usually.
I've seen Joseph Gordon-Levitt better than this, and
he
obviously
does fine, I'd say.
I think it was a passing grade.
Yeah, he
Passing.
did what he was supposed to.
Right.
And, I mean, so does...
And Anthony Mackie, I've never seen anything with him besides Captain America. The newest Captain America. So I can't really base it off of his acting abilities. But there were a few moments where I'm just like, this guy's funny.
Yeah, he had some funny moments. I mean, like, compared to the other two, he was probably the weaker of the three, but he did pull it off. You know, he pulled off his character.
I mean, I think it has to come down to the chemistry.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt already had a movie together.
Yeah, he was
At
kind
least
of
with
a
the director.
new... Yeah, exactly.
He was a new guy, so the chemistry might have been a little off in that regard, but
it was still kind of there. Like, you could tell. It was
yeah.
It was convincing that these three could be friends.
Exactly.
Especially near the ending when there's like a little flashback scene.
Yeah. It's there's not a lot of them, but there's a few moments in the movie where it actually really felt heartfelt.
Yeah. Like, it was like surprising, like, oh wow, I'm watching a decent movie, or I'm listening to a decent story, out of nowhere. Yeah. Music
and sound.
So,
Christmas music.
Really.
That's pretty much it.
Like, legit.
And then like a couple of club musics and remixes.
I mean, it really goes back to what I said. It's a modern Christmas movie about partying, and it's also a spoof. So they use this generic Christmas soundtrack,
and then they kind of remix it up a little bit. I mean,
and
there's not much to talk about. It's nothing really special. It's just generic. You think, oh, stoner Christmas movie. I think you pretty much get what kind of music is going to come out of it.
Know what's going to happen. It's like, this is what you're going to get.
Cinematography and lighting.
It's
pretty standard.
It was standard. It was
nothing special, nothing outrageous. The
lighting. There were a few
is
moments
generic.
where I was like, what, like shaky cam?
I mean, you're not going in this to
exactly. No one's gonna be like, wow, look at that shot. But it did what it needed to for a good comedy movie.
Sure.
It definitely pulled it off.
Definitely. So did you enjoy it?
Did I enjoy it? Yes, I actually did enjoy it. Like,
okay.
I mean, like I said, it's if you're going in this expecting the next big Christmas movie,
right?
Like, you shouldn't be doing that. If you're going here to see a funny Seth Rogen movie, have a couple laughs with your friend, it's a good movie. It'll give you some laughs, and especially if you go on cheap movie night like we did, I would say rent it. Don't go to the theaters and see it, but it's worth a rent.
That's probably what I would have done.
Yeah, it's worth renting or doing whatever.
In all honesty, this probably would have been a movie that I would catch on Netflix.
Yeah, that would be another way.
When I'm out with my boys, with some friends.
Yeah. It's definitely a good, sit at home with a bunch of people and just laugh at it.
You're just watching this at a party or something. And
yeah.
It's something that just catches your eye, and it's something that's on.
And at least it's holiday themed, right?
But I did enjoy myself. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I mean, I had a fun time, had some popcorn, had a few laughs.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Coming out, have a few laughs.
Have a few laughs. Last minute comments.
Last few comments.
Yeah, last few comments. The product placement.
Oh, God. I don't know how I forgot about this.
That needs to be addressed.
The product placement in this movie is atrocious.
Okay.
I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to over-exaggerate it to the point where it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. You're
It's like, I get it. Like, you guys are actually doing product placement, and you're no shame at all.
Mm-hmm.
But... So they did it to the point. They over-exaggerated it to the point where it's like, oh my God! Like Red Bull, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, that was
Sony Xperia. You should be ashamed of yourself.
It was.
I got the biggest phone that there is, so I'm gonna be able to take the best selfies.
Yep.
Oh, we're gonna take a ride in the Red Bull van. Like it was taking the exaggeration to a whole nother level.
Seth Rogen's tripping out, and he's like. Because he's on drugs, he's having a whole
Which
moment.
part was that, though?
When they're back in the limo, and then he's like, I'm freaking out, dude, and then the limo driver's like, chill out, have a Red Bull. Which is Red Bull's slogan. So a lot of movies, what they'll try to do is, like you said, they'll try and make it so glaring that you're like, all right, I get it.
You kind of forgive it in the
end. You're doing product placement. But this went so far over the top that it went
above and beyond.
It was like, how much money did you need from Red Bull to make this movie that you need to put that much in there?
I'm wondering if Red Bull sponsored at least 80% of this movie.
Yeah, that's how much they talked about it. It was insane. Overall, rating-wise, I would give this movie, 6.5 out of 10 on, if you're looking at it as this kind of big deal movie. But if you're just looking at it as a good comedy movie that'll give you some laughs, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I'll probably never see this movie again, so probably a 4.
Me either. Really? 4?
4 out of 10.
Wow. Nothing.
Doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy it, but I'll just probably never pop this into my Blu-ray player. This will come on Netflix for me.
I'd watch it if it was on basic cable. Anyway, I guess that's it for our holiday extravaganza.
Oh yeah,
with
Saint Nick and his worker.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I do look.
I think your hat's on backwards.
Is it for real? Are my elf ears backwards?
Yours are backwards.
No, I'm not.
That's been theater review.
Yeah,
Cheers, guys.
That was theater review right there. Bye.
Bye. It was good.
Yeah, that works.
I think we're getting better every time.
We're getting there, yeah. We're getting there.